All right, Naya Feather. Naya refers to the 3-color combination of red, white, and green, like this deck is. Feather here is Feather Redeemed. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature you control, exile that spell instead of putting it into your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. So the key card this archetype lost with rotation was the card Reckless Rage. Now, you'll look at this deck and you'll notice we're Naya, we're green for 1 card. Domri's Ambush does an okay job at being a drop-in replacement for Reckless Rage. This is a relatively efficient piece of removal. Girl decks have played this as a constructed playable card. Ambush also plays really well with Dreadhorde Arcanist, so you can ambush onto the Arcanist and then attack with this with the 1/1 counter and flash back Domri's Ambush. GKH, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hooglandia. We also have tools like God's Willing, Defiant Strike, and Battlefield Promotion that allow us to get value with Feather. And then cards from the new set that we're trying out here, we've got Hero of Nyxborn. When it comes into play, it makes a 1/1, and then whenever you cast a spell that targets this, all of our other creatures get an extra attack till end of turn. We've got a pair of Haktos here at the top end as kind of an evasive beater that can just randomly steal games. We also gained Castle in the mana base from Eldraine as a way to be able to make creatures with our lands, which sounds appealing. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this one and see how it goes. Naya is one of my favorite decks in both Pioneer and Historic, so I'm interested to see if we can get it to work in Standard again. I'm not really sure the blue splash really solves any problems that that deck has, Zero. Easy mulligan. Yeah, this is fine. Think we bottom 10th District Legionnaire. They have 2 threats and 2 things to pump them with. Feather is a white card, so we'll prioritize fetching our 2nd white here to start. Haktos, isn't that a Pokemon? Longtime viewer on YouTube, having a slow day at work, so thought I'd catch a stream. Awesome, well, welcome to a live one. I appreciate you dropping off that Prime support. Twitch Prime pays my mortgage these days. And more directly, I'm excited. Work is gonna get started on my stream room sometime in the next couple of months. Looking forward to having a space upgrade. How oppressive has Ballista Combo been in Pioneer? We haven't played much Pioneer since it dropped. There haven't been a lot of people playing it, though. Control matchup. Kind of regret bottoming our extra threat here. Making your stream room a large sphere? No. We already had an unfinished space in the corner of my basement that we were going to work from. Yep. I guess I'll just draw. It's a good one to just draw. Hey, Frogabo, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Do I just drop Haktos and possibly run into a sweeper? Yeah, I think so. Just make him have it. Life Guardian, thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back. Don't make me draw a card. Don't do it. Just a Gadwick. Hey, guess who's got protection from Gadwick? This guy right here. Down to 8. Hopefully we don't get time wipe next turn. Absorbs the downside to attacking pre-combat there, I suppose. Because Gadwick gets to tap our attacker. So the 3 life from Absorb keeps them alive here. They take 7 back down to 3. Please concede. 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 Tilt. Tilt.
Show remorse. I'll show you. Shows nothing.
God's willing. God's willing. God's willing was lethal. Sad trombone noises. It was our shot chat. Domri's ambush was also lethal. So we had 8 lethal draws there, and we had 3 draws that were redraws towards lethal.
Hero thing before.
So many shots. Flipping absorbs, man. Kingdom 6, and they are at 3. Alright, shoot your shot, Feather. Please concede. Please concede. Please concede. Please concede. Please concede. They're playing dance. Wild. You can dance if you wanna. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. If the code didn't work, someone else probably entered it before you, King. Their one-time uses. Well, God's Willing is no longer useful, actually, right? I don't know. They're either going to be dead to this feather next turn or we lose, so. So they draw a card, they choose a card name. When they cast the chosen card name, they draw 2.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Oh, I can do something in response? Maybe if this was Magic the Gathering, I could do something in response. But this is not Magic the Gathering. I'm currently playing Hearthstone.
I've got it.
That's not good enough. They also have a castle. And now this gains them 2. Teferi Time Raveler, such a stain. Just the stainiest of stains. I think it just ambushes out, put these in, call it a day. I guess killing Gadwick's not nothing. Yeah, split the difference here. Yeah, let's do that. These are pretty bad against Teferi. Yeah, I mean, you have to play it, right? Like, the card's very good. Yeah. Yep. Aren't you excited for core set Teferi? I'm excited for big green monster set, followed by Teferi set. If you hadn't played the Legionnaire pre-combat on that turn, would you have won? Questions like that are bad questions. Instead of asking me, should I have done this other thing with hindsight, you should ask me was it correct to play the card in the moment with the information that we had? Which, I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I'm open to hearing discussions about that. But, like, you'll just drive yourself mad by asking yourself, should I have made this decision different with information that I didn't have? 'Cause you can't look at Magic that way. You can't look at life that way. Real bad way to approach learning in general. Well, here's hoping to run some lands off. Need to draw a third land. Drew another one of our 3/4 drops. It really does, Marty. You know the answer to that. Geodude, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back.
Together we can banish evil from this place.
Okay.
Light will cleave the darkness.
Turn late on the Gideon, but pretty good draws otherwise. Definitely want to leave the Defiant Strike there. Card replaces itself and deals an extra damage. Interesting. So they're just using this as a distraction. Oh no, we can't target Haktos with Gideon. That's fine. Teferi can't target him either. Kind of surprised they didn't just like pick up Omen there. Maybe they were planning to bounce the Conqueror's Death after. Ha! I can't use either of these cards on Haktos. I guess killing him means they get him back with Conqueror's Death. Yeah, not only is it 2 mana preordain, but it's a preordain that you can replay with down ticking your Teferi. That's another thing that makes it really, really good. Yeah, I definitely should not have killed the Teferi. They should be at 8. That's a big mistake on my part. Brazen Bar, the only thing they run that'll target the Haktos. I don't know offhand. Oh yeah, we did see Decree. Borrower's Bounce only costs 2 though. It does not impact the converted mana cost of my spell. It impacts the casting cost, which is there is a difference between those things in Magic. The converted mana cost is always the number that's in the upper right-hand corner of the card. Hey, Kanata, thanks for the sub-gifty. Welcome to our newest member of Hoglandia. Alright. When you're bored with your match of Magic, it's a good time to move along to the next one. When you're like, I'd rather be doing something else. It's time to go do something else. Playing against blue-white control is always a loss, even when you win. You don't leave happy. Greens for Domri's Ambush. You can always find the deck list by typing !deck in chat. Well, you know, here we are. It's pretty good. We played a green-white aggro enchantments deck this morning. That felt very reasonable. As much as I would like a feather eventually, we need to land more. Yeah, I think the green-white enchantments deck so far is the deck of the day. We'll see how this one and blue-black end up. How do adventure spells work with feather? They come back to your hand. I think I'm just supposed to do this. I could gamble on trying to hit a land with this, but if I miss, I'm just too far behind. Like, this gives me an attack to put them to 8, which is ideal. If we find a land next turn, they're dead. Assuming they don't kill 10th District Legionnaire. I assume they're jump blocking. Really? That's it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him here. Glass Casket sounds good. I think this is not great, and this is not great. We're going to be on defense in this matchup some amount of the time, so we're going to bring in some removal spells here. Keep this core of 16 threats. Yeah, one on. We had 3 lands at the very end, right? Screwbeach flood, right? Yeah, a lot of the time. To be fair, they weren't really flooded though, right? Like they still had spells in their hand. It wasn't like they were empty-handed. Played spells most turns of that game. Thoughts on Ox in Arclight Phoenixless? That's probably pretty good, I would venture to guess, in Historic. I don't know if you have enough gas for it in Standard. Or if you have enough time to dirtle around with that. You might. You might actually. An Arctic does fill up the bin. It's very Treasure Cruise-esque, if you can get it into the discard pile. It's probably worth testing. I don't believe you, Marty. Anybody else I would believe. You, I'm not so sure. It's Bedlam Riveler. Yeah, that's probably a more apt comparison. I feel hurt and attacked. I mean, you're not really playing a Phoenix deck, right, Marty? You're playing Memekin? Ox is Banana Indredge. I believe you that there's a combo card that makes a modern deck better. So really want to draw a white source next turn? You played blue-red in the early access event? Okay, I believe you. Yep. Really? They're making mana? Sure. Going to 9. Try and draw a white source. Okay. I don't know if that actually does anything here. I'm going to 3 on this attack.
I've lived with animals my entire life. Explains a lot, actually.
Explains a lot, actually. Right. It's a build around or a user submission. It's a build around. For Feather in Standard. Their only request was that it include this card. I think you probably want this card in Standard. Seems good. It's not quite 10th District Legionnaire good, but seems fine. Hey, Sphinx, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This guy made of stars? Yeah, looks like it. What's his full type line? Is there anywhere to see his full type line? He's a human what? He's a human ... Is it human soldier? Is there a way to see his full text on Arena? How do I scroll or zoom or whatever? Enchantment creature, human soldier. Okay, there you go. I was like, there's gotta be a way to see this. It's pretty good. Huh. So, here's a question. If I play this, they can stomp him. But if I play this, they could lava coil it before I get to generate value with it, which doesn't seem ideal. So is it crazy to just like go tapped land go here? I think I'm just gonna go tapped land go. Probably the Dredge deck Python, I think, is the best of those 3 decks you just listed. Would be my assumption. So they could Domri fight this, which is a little bit of a concern. But if they kill Feather this turn, I at least get to Defiant Strike and generate some value that way. So it's not like just a loss. Well, my read on Bonecrusher was good at least. So I spent both their stomps to kill this, and it did cantrip, so I've got that going for us. Yeah, maybe Gird's better than this. I don't know, this is a cute combat trick. We'd consider splitting them perhaps 2-2. They know about the Defiant Strike, so they're trading here. Maybe because the Domri's sitting in play, I'm supposed to Banishing Light Domri last turn.
There'll be nothing but dust when I'm done.
Very possible. Battlefield promotion is good for Questing Beast and against Cleaves. Against Cleave is interesting. That's a good thought, because the first strike is relevant. So, if I Domri's Ambush... and then I can kill their Planeswalker here. How does it feel to be back, Marty? Welcome home.
Let's kick this madness into high gear. We won't answer to other guilds.
We won't answer to other guilds.
first time I've been knocked about.
I'm just gonna pass here. If they want to try and kill Nyxborn, I can God's Willing and protect it. And then they lose their Domri. So like, if they fight here, God's Willing kills their Giant, and they lose their Planeswalker too with the down tick. Now, one thing that's a little awkward here is if they go to stomp this in response and I protect it, my Domri's ambush doesn't resolve. Because I have to give protection from red to protect from a stomp here. Alright, everything worked out better than expected. Battlefield promotion working against Stomp. Yeah, that's true, because this is +1/+1. Okay, on the scoreboard. That's good. Moving on up the ladder. Gruul mid-range usually, Gruul Stompy like that usually does not play Flash Wolf. All right. Let's go 2, 3, 4. It's not bad. Sultai Ramp. Daniel Rager. Thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Let me in! Let me in! Grazer keeping out the 2/2s. Why? You gotta keep a good 2/2 down, Grazer. You know, I'm gonna be honest, that was not the 3-drop I was expecting after an Arboreal Grazer. Huh. The more you know. Hey, Sword and Shield, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. 7/6 will also keep out the 2/2, something like that. Alright, Haktos can brickwall them for a turn here, hopefully. Haha! His heal is not this heal. We did it. Hooray! That's weird. You didn't want to throw away your Regisaur? How strange. Yeah, Haktos has to attack. There's just a fog there. I think I just draw a card. It might be right to miss a point of damage and, like, get a scry by targeting the Legionnaire. Oh, you know what? I should have put them to 6, right? So that way this was lethal next turn. Yeah, definitely should have put them to 6. Cameo. What an interesting collection of cards. Stacking all these on here because we get to scry with them. Hey, battlefield promotion. Battlefield promotion can target this because its Achilles heel is 2. Good guy. Good guy, Haktos. Coming in clutch there. He's the real MVP we needed the whole time. Huh? What are we trimming? Dreadhorde Arcanist. What threats do we think they have other than Regisaurs, huh? Do we think they're mostly green? Is this Devout Decree not actually that good? Maybe this is mostly what we want. Yeah, it's probably like Questerson. Yes, yeah, Haktos is just a good piece of top end that kills people. It's not particularly synergistic with our deck. Protection is a really old mechanic, which means it's symmetrical. Like one of the few non-offensive things about it. Yeah, escape stuff's probably a good read into what they're doing. We did see a Hydra, that's true. Yeah, I think I'm in for a rim job. They're gonna... It's an extra threat. Also gives us a counter on this. Yep. So, I think we just jam here, right? Because this gives first strike. Maybe I'm supposed to play defense with this, actually. Maybe that's the play. They're a relatively new meme, my sticks. They're getting there. They're getting there. That's a 1/4 Boreal Grazer. So, if I shock this in and attack with everything, I get in trouble. I die to Questing Beast. I think that's fine. I can't just like sit here and turtle up, because even though they have Regisaur, and they had Questing Beast they could have cast it last turn, even though they have Regisaur chewing at their hand, the Great Henge means they're going to win a long game. So I definitely think we need to just be smashing here. So, dead to Questerson. They have Cavalier of Thorns in their deck. Wild. That's aggressive. They have a sweeper? Oh, okay, yep. We saw them discard a Cry earlier. It's a little punishing. They topped a card. So that doesn't bode well for our hero. Dead to Doomblade. Hydroid Crisis, really? Hold on just a second, chat. All right, are we dead? I think we're dead. Yeah, sorry. So I had mentioned this before. We hired an after-school sitter for Jacob, so I can work later a couple of days a week, so I don't have to be done by 2:30 every day. And today's her first day. So Christy's home upstairs, but she wasn't sure which house was ours. And our mailbox is across the street. Apologies to everyone whose animals just popped up. That was my doorbell. I should have known that was coming and probably muted. Death to Seraphim. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. So moving forwards, most Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to be running till about 5 o'clock in the evenings. As always, questions for would I accept X should always be answered by filling out the form on my website. How is Naya? How is season? Why is that relevant? I don't understand what, like, why do I want seasons? Haktos has been a little awkward. He's stolen games. He's not particularly synergistic, but he has stolen games. I think I just gotta go to 5 here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's the closest to functional we've had. We'll bottom the 2 Fabled Passages. Probably just playing Rimrock on 2. Not particularly excited about it, though. Alright. The question is, when they play the 1/1 Dork on 2, do I kill it? Probably. I have had, you asked if someone else had contributed to Jund. Yeah, the Jund deck has been bumped up by other people. So I can't swap that one out. So the difference, Wargy, if you look at this build versus the build that had... So the key difference between this build of Naya and the other builds of Naya is this build is a red-white with a small green splash, whereas the other Naya builds, green was more core to them. So this build only has 13 green sources in it, which means casting seasons on 2 is not something we're necessarily going to be consistently doing. And when we can't consistently cast seasons early, it becomes a lot less valuable. Am I supposed to play this out? The question is, like, if they had Cry, would they have played Cry already? And then the other question is, like, can I afford to play around Cry? Like, they're getting up to 5 mana next turn. Like, can I kill them with just these two before Cry rears its ugly head? Like, they topped a card there. If they just, like, play a big blocker, I think I have to just hope they don't have Cry. And if they do have Cry and I rip a white source, we might be okay. Removal spell here is actually incredibly good for us because that implies they don't have the sweeper. Because if they had the sweeper, they just untap and clean the board, right? Oh, wow. Their deck's a lot bigger than I was expecting. That's what she said. I'll take 3 here. Listen, chat, I can set myself up like that if I want, okay? Okay? Listen, I never profess to be a family-friendly stream, I just try not to swear, okay? Your kids don't get those innuendos anyways. Vaynefer combo deck is gas. I played against Straza yesterday and managed 2 turn 4s in game 1. Nice. All right, so if we drew a white source here, we might have been okay. I feel like I'm supposed to smack them so that way they're dead to a single hit to Haktos. The problem is I'm going to be dead in 2 on the backswing. Hey, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. So remember, the converted mana cost on this while it's in play is always 2. It does not include the X. So we're hoping to roll 3 or 4 on Haktos.
Behold, nature's true power.
All right, I'm just going to gain 2 here and go up to 17. So this puts me to 7. Am I exactly dead? I think I'm exactly dead. That's really good for us. Okay, so if this rolls not 2, we get to kill them next turn. Actually, it needs to be 4, right? Okay. Go to 2. You ever wonder what professionalism looks like, chat? Swish. Uro has a converted mana cost of 3, so we needed it to be 4 so Uro couldn't block. So, cost 4 to escape, has a converted mana cost of 3 while it's in play, because 3 is the number in the corner of the card. Yeah, technically should kill the one that makes more mana. You're correct. Haktos is not particularly synergistic, but I'll be darned if it's not good. It's been Haktos. Haktos has been impressive. It has stolen us games. Haktos single-handedly won us that match, right? Like, it stole game 1 and 3 there. And, like, sometimes he lands on 2 and we can play these, right? I'm gonna do this now. I'm dumb. I should have Fabled Passaged. I should have Fabled Passage first, because I need to Fabled Passage anyways, and like, now my Scry doesn't do anything. This is not a card that's made the cut for Standard and other formats just because 2 mana is a lot. However, with like Out Reckless Rage, or like looking for other things to fill in. Slaying Fire, super punished. I'm gonna grab my second red here, in case we draw Haktos later. Yep. Hopefully we draw an untapped land next turn. He said before his creature died. Oh. It's been so long since red aggro was a thing. Not only does it serve to protect not only does it serve to protect the 3/4 flyer Dirty Digits, but it's just a high quality card. It's just one of the better enchantment creatures in the game that was printed. So it's just a good magic card. One of the things people frequently do is they're too much of a slave to their theme. And they play too many mediocre and middling cards just for the sake of having them be on theme, rather than playing high quality, high impact cards. I think Arcanist is pretty unlikely to get to do too much. Going to bring in all of our removal. Maybe this is too many Banishing Lights. Yeah, this seems fine. Milo, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That's fine. To fetch, tap mountain on 1. Bonecrusher was ready, chat. Maybe I'm supposed to just play the... maybe because 10th District Legionnaire is my only creature, and I have the God's Willing, maybe I'm just supposed to play Temple Garden tapped on 2 there. That's quite possible. It's like, hold up the God's Willing on 3 to protect it. Yeah, I think that was missequencing on my part. Cantrip this and try and find a threat, huh? Well, you know, second verse, same as the first. Perfect. We'll go something to block with later and use some of these on. Even if we have to bleed a little bit to use these with Bonecrusher, it's still going to be worthwhile. Yeah, I could see Hero of Nyxborn not quite being good enough for Historic. So this gets 1/1 from its trigger and then 1/1 from the ambush. And then I think we're actually at a high enough life total that we just get to race here now. This is a very good draw. Rather than having to like play this, like I told up God's Willing now here too as well. See if we get bailed out of my mistake earlier this game of just jamming the first Legionnaire too quickly. How much personal brewing and tuning do I do versus just playing decks that other people tune and refine? It depends on how many builder run submissions I have. So a number of the decks that I get into my queue at any given set release are decks where people just submit an idea and then I build around the idea. I also think that distinction's probably largely trivial. Those two things, like, are very similar. Then the end result is about the same. Oh no. Oh no! They took our boy, chat. They took my boy. Not my firstborn. I think Jacob's upstairs. How could they take him? What did he ever do? Are you about to get, like, flung or something? I'd be really surprised if they have Fling. If they do have Fling, we're still kind of okay. Oh, honey. Maybe they just knew they were dead and it didn't matter. But this had first strike. I don't know. It could have just been that they were dead and it didn't matter. Like they were, like, if that was their last card. Oh, I guess they could have played the Giant and chump blocked, right? So they weren't guaranteed dead on board. I don't know. They probably weren't winning the game and it probably didn't really matter. Casting a card for a quest, something like that. Gotta do my dailies. I think I keep this. I feel like I wouldn't fault someone for mulliganing this hand, though. The mana's like supremely awkward. That's a good draw. Do I lead on Temple? So, if I lead on Fabled Passage, I can go Shaka Landon, Decree on 2, Shaka Landon, 10th, hold up God's Willing on 3. So I think that's the play. I have to, like, it hurts a little bit. I think that's the sequence. If I play the Temple on 1, I can't play Legionnaire and hold up Decree on 2. Do I want to decree this? I feel like I don't. They upgrade the art on the bro sleeve? I don't think so. I think it's always been about like that. Maybe they changed how things were rendered as a whole. I think that's a keep. I think that's like above average for our card draws here. All right, low tolerance for the gods and their willingness, huh? I don't know, that felt pretty reasonable to me. Battlefield promotion, I feel like it was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I know it's like a 2-mana combat trick, but the fact that it's like a 1/1 counter instead of a a temporary boost. Like, both Battlefield Promotion and Domri's Ambush play really nicely with Dreadhorde Arcanist. We didn't get to see it in that set, but like, you can play this on Arcanist pre-combat, and then it has a second power, and then you can attack with it and flash either of these back. Getting the little bits of life is super relevant in the aggressive matchups as well. Haktos had a little bit of anti-synergy with our deck overall, but I think this was a very reasonable top end. I would not be surprised if there's some kind of red-white aggressive deck in the format that plays this card. One thing that's really sweet about this card is that it's always protection from Nissa lands. It's always protection from Cavalier. The only real payoff that they have in the Simic deck that sometimes blocks it are the Hydras, right? Like Hydroid Crisis and... what's it called? So I feel like if I was interested in exploring other aggressive decks in this format, something that like top ends for Haktos is like almost certainly a reasonable thing to be doing. Uro does sometimes do it too. That's true. Uro and Hydras. Still think this is probably reasonable. We're doing pretty well, Heidi. Thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. All right, what do we got coming up next here? We got it isn't often that Matthew Bamonte gives me a deck list that he thinks is terrible and he wants me to play, but when he does, it's usually an awful control deck. So we are going to take a quick ad roll so I can get set up for the next deck, and when I get back, we are going to play some blue-black control here. Back in a few, folks. Thanks for hanging out.